It is 11:38 and I'm at one of my favorite truck stops. Not really. It's wide open. I've never stayed the night here. It's just down the street from where I delivered. So I've got, let's see, I dropped off my 4 coils and that in like 38 minutes. I mean, as soon as I got the chains off, they were pulling it off my deck. And now I'm just waiting to see what I get next. And there's not a whole lot of choices out of here. This is South Dakota. I don't know if you can pick it up on the video, but it's a bit windy this morning and dust is blowing. And I told the weather not to do that because I just washed my truck and I don't want dust on it. But apparently in South Dakota, they do their own thing. This is Hartford, South Dakota. If I'm kind of pointing in the general direction of what consists of Hartford, South Dakota. They've got a lot of housing. The place where I delivered to is actually hiring. They've been hiring for the last year. They work sheet metal, and I'm assuming it's they do metal roofing and probably other things. But if you're in Hartford, South Dakota, there's a place hiring down the road from this gas station if you're looking for a job. Well, it's 12:11 in the afternoon, and I think my day is over in the sense that I got a new work assignment, but it doesn't pick up until tomorrow morning in St. Paul, Minnesota. So I guess that's not over because I'll drive pretty much there tonight. They have parking, and then I pick up my load tomorrow. But it delivers in Kansas, so that means and it doesn't deliver until Monday. And I called to verify, and they told me it's a stay out load, which is one of the rare occasions where I don't make it home. Which I asked my fleet manager, is this a stay out load or take it home? Because sometimes they have you take it home, take these loads home that may or may not work out to be a home loads. When they're on the cusp of either way, I always ask so I know. And they let me know that it's a stay out load, so I'm looking to see if I need to move for this truck that is trying to turn around me. Or if he's just planning to park next to me. I don't know what his deal is. He's turning really sharp into my truck. And we'll see what his plan is. But anyway, so like I said, there's not a whole lot out of this area, and that's why they're sending me all the way to St. Paul and to a town called Roseville. And it's hard to find it on my GPS. Can't find it. The directions that are provided are difficult to locate on the GPS, so I'm going to look it up on Google Maps and work it from there. So and then I will head that way. My fleet manager did say that they were going to try to work a load swap. That'll be difficult though out of this area. So we'll see what happens and go from there. I don't necessarily like staying out over the weekend. But sometimes, it happens every once in a while. Most of the times I'm out over the weekend is only because of a breakdown. It's very rare that I'm out over a weekend due to a load requirement. And so that's one of the reasons I picked Maverick, is because they try to get me home every weekend. Even now that this load is not taking me home, they're working, and it most likely won't be successful, but they're looking for a driver to take the load that I'm working on doing. It's almost like these vehicles don't know that is not the main entrance. There's an entrance way over on the other side there for trucks to come in, and I'm not sure why this truck came in where it did, but whatever. So I will, when I leave, I'll leave this way, go out to the highway and head east and go from there. We'll see what happens. I'll report any updates. Well, I'm wrapping up my day, I think. It's 4:20. It's not a very long day, but I almost did 500 miles, which seems kind of crazy. But, oh well, that I didn't I've got 2 hours and 40 minutes left on my clock that I could continue driving, so I could probably get up to 590, almost 600 miles. But I'm only, well, I guess I can't drive for another 2 hours because I'm only 48 minutes away from where I'm picking up my load, which isn't scheduled until 9 a.m. I have been to this truck stop before. I didn't realize it. I actually went across the street. I think, what's it called? But you can see it there. I stayed there once, and I went over, as I was driving, I had it in my GPS. I drove in, and I was like, I don't know if I want to stay here this time. I didn't, it was all right. And I said, let me go to that truck stop across the street. So I showed up here. And as I was pulling in, I'm like, oh, wait, I've stayed here before, too. In fact, I was right where that sign is, in that chain link fence is where I parked, because all these parking spots I'm in right now were full. I mean, it's a tiny little place of a truck stop, but in fact, there's more parking spaces across the street. So I've been through this area several times and often come through here because I've been to Hartford, South Dakota several times, dropping off coils there, and often come to St. Paul / Minneapolis, Minnesota, either to get shingles, because everybody wants a good case of shingles, or what else do I normally pick up out of here? I am, in fact, where I'm going, the place I'm going to, in Roseville, Minnesota, which is inside of Minneapolis, I'm getting steel plates, which I've been to one time before. And it delivers on Monday at 7 o'clock. So odds are even though my fleet manager said they were going to attempt to do a load swap for me, in an effort to try to get me home for the weekend, which I appreciate. I kind of think it may not occur because this is one of those, we're on the outskirts of Maverick, what I would call Maverick territory. So there's not a whole lot of scheduled freight out of this area. And there may not be as many Maverick drivers that live in this area for me to actually swap with. So, I mean, in order to make a swap happen, I would need to be able to drive towards St. Louis, trade loads with somebody, and that person would need to have a load that came from the opposite way and is heading towards St. Paul. And I don't think I've ever taken a load straight to St. Paul before. So it may be... The only thing that would work is another load that's going to Hartford, South Dakota, and we have a lot of those going there. But again, it would have to be a driver that kind of lives in this area. Yeah, I don't see how it's going to work. So I will. Tomorrow's Friday, so I mean I will get to almost Emporia, Kansas tomorrow. They do have parking at the receiver, but I don't want to spend the weekend at the receiver. I'll find a decent truck stop that hopefully has Wi-Fi so I can upload videos. Otherwise, you go a week without them because I'm not going to use my phone. Another strange thing I noticed when I pulled in here, you see where that truck is, that Volvo. There's a this. Let me see if I can show what I'm talking about. This road that goes out here, cars come flying out of there and through here like this is a street, and it's not. It's a parking lot. See that truck there? See cars? Some of them are going actually to the truck stop, but I mean, I was trying to park and there was cars coming flying around the corner slamming on their brakes while because I was like interrupting their flow of traffic, because I'm parking as often trucks do in truck stops. But they were just zipping on. As soon as I moved out of the way, they zipped on through to the exit over there. And I think what it is people are using this as a shortcut, because there is that light that is there is very long. So if you're trying to make a right-hand turn, you could spend at least 4 minutes at that light without moving. So I'm assuming people are cutting through so they can get on that street, go out, back out, and continue down their way. So, and it must be a common practice because, like I said, these cars just come. They were and there were several cars, and they were just flying around the corner. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here. You gotta wait. I'm backing up nice and slow, taking my time. See, I gotta park next to this trailer that's on the left-hand side that's not connected to anything. So if anybody's looking for some cheap trailers and you have a truck, I'm assuming these are really low cost because I don't think they have kingpin locks on them. So that must mean they're, first come, first serve. I have been inside this truck stop one other time, and I think they have kind of a decent selection. It's not necessarily what I would call 5 out of 5 stars. I'd call it, this is one of those, 3 out of 5 star truck stops. They have the basics that you need if you're just staying the night. And that's all I need, because I'm just staying the night and then I'm out of here. Serious.